Welcome to our podcast. This is the Before the AI is Taking Over the Humanity podcast. All the podcasts will be published on website and also put into a time capsule into a repository to be dug out by future archaeologists after 2 or 3 generations and basically experience the human without AI perception of life and the divine creation process that we are creating here on Earth. So, welcome, Guillermo.
Hvala. Thank you.
I'm Miha Berčić, founder of Black Raven Solutions Wilderness Academy. I teach reconnection and rewilding with nature, and I love AI, but not in the extent that is currently present. So, Guillermo, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am Guillermo. I come from Argentina, and I am here in Ljubljana for 12 years approximately. All my activities are related with an idea which for the moment is epic life.
Mm-hmm.
Basically that I decline involvement with anything that I don't consider in some way, for my personal judgment, epic in some level. And then that means that I had during my life explored all kinds of things. And it was a process of understanding what unifies all my activities and all the experiences that I have. And I found this concept, that I basically jump into any train that seems like exciting enough for my mind. Mostly I think it's more like a mental stuff. And then by following this principle without knowing that there is a principle, I end up doing all kinds of things, but mostly related with culture and traveling. And so I did arts in many fields, and now I pull them, I combine them whenever I need.
Yeah.
Lately, I became more like some kind of art teacher because my girlfriend was already a teacher, and then I started doing music for her workshops, and eventually we create like a service of art teaching children through arts, maybe how to know themselves, how to name their emotions, how to express themselves, how to prepare for when they will grow.
So like a process of sensibilization, getting in touch with themselves.
Yes, and also like certain principles we try to transfer to them, like an understanding, our own understanding of art, which is constantly evolving.
Yeah, nice.
Or creativity, let's say, how I understand it. For me, art has been always something that is related with getting to state of total honesty with yourself in some way. I started this when I was 18 or something, and then the ideal was like if I managed to produce art in the state of honesty, no matter what I do I would be able to call it art, at least for myself.
Sure.
And then so I am more connected with the experience with techniques as a media to express yourself, and not as a finality. So that's kind of enough for an introduction, I think.
Yeah, it's perfect. So regarding this AI that's been taking over all of our lives from every corner. It's funny for me, because like 100 years ago or so, or a little bit less, our ancestors were running to Argentina, Slovenians, and now you came from Argentinian to Slovenia, so it's kind of our cultures are related, our collective consciousnesses are created, and we inserted a little bit of Slovenian collective consciousness and culture into Argentinian. And now you're here, before we knew Argentina, just like big South American country, a lot of, cow pastures, grazing, and good steaks, and this is basically everything, and football, you know. This is basically all most of the people here knew about Argentina. But you're bringing the culture, the art, the passion, the expression here, showing it, teaching it to children.
Also to adults, to anybody who is really want to be in contact. But a little bit the principle, if we're gonna talk more about this teaching, is more. It's a double work of showing the way to do things, providing the context of which type of mindset it's recommendable to do these things that we recommend, and at the same time we perform also. In the process of teaching, we not only express the way to do it, but also like we perform for them. I sing, I play the music, I get crazy and I dance, or I sing, or all kind of things. Or Kim, for example, she dances, and then we show them. We work on this like let's say rational understanding of transmission of knowledge and irrational through an energetic expression. And so I believe that learning comes, in my case, much more through this direct knowledge. So I see somebody moving, and then I kind of enter a little bit in some kind of trance, and then maybe in 2 months I can do the movement. By itself, without any preparation, just one day happens. For me, understanding how something has to be done, it sometimes my mind gets blanked when I try to learn let's say a rhythm by knowing like left, right, 1, 2, 3. I listen again and again the instructions, and I have no clue how to connect them with any kind of action. You know? This happened the same to me with dances, with music, but I am very rational as well. You know, at the same time, talking about AI, for me, I don't know. AI is more like a consequence of something. Everything, I think, in a way, it's a little bit more mystical. We have in South America something that people call animism, which is that we provide everything that surrounded us with some kind of identity. You know, it's like they are all persons. You know, your bike, the street, the buildings. It's not like we really think we are per person, but we relate to them in such way. You know, I know that a bike is an object. But because it's my bike and I have it for so long time, I relate to it almost as an animal, or as a dog, or as some sort of something.
And it's very viable and a living thing to do, because how we create things here, and we get our energy and we express it in a creative way. And if we work with an object, you know, we project our creative energy into that object. Because I know that from construction, if there is a house that's not being taken care of, it's in a bad, shady state, but it will still hold together if a person is living in it. And when the person dies or moves out and the building is left alone, it will just crumble down in a couple of years.
I experienced this in traveling a lot, like entering a new house, or when somebody leave a house, the house starts to have difficulties. Like a pipe breaks, or like something
slowly,
quick.
Slowly, then water, elements come in and just erode, degrade very quickly.
In the end, I think like I have the feeling, or I thought for a long time, that the man, as we knew it, in a way, in this more romantic understanding of this man disappeared in the 70s. I think the pinnacle of the passionate man, I think it disappeared in the 70s, or like it reaches the peak in the 70s. And after the 70s, it became this process of this virtualization of the human experience.
And mentalization.
And we are so deep into that I don't think we can really judge it in an objective way, because in some way, when we perceive the world, we are also intellectualizing our perception. No? Our society is super visual, and then in the end, in the beginning, was maybe a shock to see a photo of somebody, but after a while, we get super used to, I think I know what you are doing just because I see it in the phone, you know. And if I ask you what you do, I will corroborate most of it, you know. Maybe there's something on the experience at the experiential level that will be missing because I'm just watching a device. But it depends on your skill to communicate your own acts and your own activities. I will get a quite nice feeling of what you're doing. So I think we are past beyond the point where we could choose if this is going to happen or not. It just happened, you know. I mean, people liberate themselves in the 70s. They create all this amazing culture for different reasons. I don't know, the myth that we have in South America about that is that there were some problems in the East and some teachers were expelled from the East. I don't know from which countries exactly, and they end up in America, and they opened their karate and kung fu schools and spirituality, all kind of schools that they were traditionally built in the East, and that the West had no idea about, you know. And this innocent or this mechanical random push of some immigration that end up and share, this creates some kind of a leap, cognitive leap, you know, in the society by mixing these differences. And then the natural consequence of that was a total revolution, so total social and mental revolution. And I think, I don't know, the idea of visualizing our experience, it's a process that is a very long one. It was just like we reached the technological speed to make it happen, but it's not like something that people were not wishing for ages, you know. Like the idea to like people used like to have wars. For example, immortality is, I think, is more like a memory than a wish. But for example, people war so much, no? They were in war so much, and they wish probably like endless nights praying to have able to communicate with each other in a specific moment at somebody at a distance, or missing somebody emotionally. I think AI is somehow the consequences of hundreds and hundreds of years of praying, mentally praying for certain powers, you know, like humans. How much would I like, I don't know, to live longer, or how much would I like to know this, or to know the world, or to see the things, or to know all these mysteries. And I think it's a manifestation of a wish that humans had for a long time.
Oh, for sure.
How now this is used in a way, in this, I don't know, everything you can criticize about that. I also don't think this is so different than anything else that people are doing. It's just that it's so efficient that is scary in a way, no?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not criticizing it. I'm just exploring. The AI world, you know, but not in a general way that most of the people are that have like wet dreams now. Wow, this, I don't know, like this ChatGPT is going to solve all my problems, you know. And you know, and some people fear it because they fear for their jobs and income, and you know, and it's something that's inevitable. It will happen. I saw it with the translation industry that I've been in the past 5 years, and I saw the changes. And now this is like 1,000 times more powerful. But on the other side, you know, I live in nature quite a lot, and I've explored not my full potential, but I'm exploring it. So most of the people live in the reality of their 5 basic senses that they were taught in school that they exist, and then maybe they know the 6th one, like the women's intuition, and then, you know, maybe the 7th, like telepathy, because the phone rings, or just before it rings, they think about the person, and then the person is calling them. So they picked up their intention over, you know, over space and time. But the human body, you know, it's much more than just these 5 or 7 senses, you know, because we have 366 senses, and most people only use 5. So, you know, I'm curious why this mentalization and deifying of this technology that's basically limiting our human experience and human potential, and why is it, you know, so pushed on us? Because if I want to choose one side, I'm going to choose it anyway. why are you pushing me only in one direction? This is like my question.
Yeah, I think it's more like I see this more as a consequence of the wishes of a collective, you know. So in a way, my own wishes of speed and efficiency and handiness, like to have something easy to reach, to promote myself, my own wishes are calling desperately this technology towards me. It's not, I don't feel like that this is somebody is pushing it to me. I think everybody is kind of pushing it into each other because we adapt to this process of like how much can we improve what we were trying to do at a very slow rate through this technology in a way. For example, like now I think it's yes, for example, if you don't know something, you just Google it, you know? And this was I remember that this was not something that people would do, to have the chance on their own to reach information. Most of the history that we know in society was about control and manipulation, control and
but
privilege of education, no? And now this education is in every pocket. Then doesn't mean that people will educate themselves.
No, I know, but
the concept is.
But do you think that all the knowledge on Google is relevant? True?
I don't know.
Or manipulated?
I don't know. No, well, the manipulation is just. I think manipulation in a way is just like a stream of collective individual intentions. I don't think that it's like. Maybe there are some people planning things, but I don't think that these few people planning something can really describe an impersonal process of evolution of the human in a way. I see that the consequence is a human evolution into some strange direction. Maybe like the creation of inorganic life. Or maybe, I don't know, the capacity to reach out to places that the body doesn't allow us to go.
Okay.
I think that the problem that I see more coming is how our bodies are going to adapt to this speed, because the mind can, in theory, the mind can catch up. And
mind is fast.
It can really adapt and be okay. With incredible changes, you know.
Yeah, slow is the soul, the emotional body.
Well, even much about that. Like in the way, it's like you bring me all the technology you want, and I will still be jealous, depressed, insecure, inspired, charismatic. This doesn't really modify so much. The possibilities of human are not changing as fast as this speed of transmission of information, no? And how this is affecting the culture. So for me, the problem will become more, if there is a problem, the problem I see is how hurtful will be for people to coexist with this disruption. Not the disruption in itself, but the fact that the people will, or they will put implants to go faster, or they will mentally be okay. We are now okay with traveling by plane, or we are okay by knowing the life of people through a telephone. But at the body level or the emotional level, I don't know if we can really process this imbalance, in the sense like we can know or we can catch a lot of information in 1 week that maybe before, like even 20 years ago, you would need 1 year to go through all this data, you know, in any kind of experience. And now it is, so it looks like we are catching up. We are able to adapt mentally. I just don't think that, I think there are like unpredictable consequences at the emotional level in terms of interrelationships between people, and how this will affect the society also, you know? How does it affect society that everybody is so attached to their own phone, you know? At the same time, it seems to be like something they really wanted, you know, like, because nobody's forcing them, nobody's forcing anybody.
This is like a soft push. I tell people, you know, because it's like marketing, you know. If there is a product and we want to sell it, we, you know, we're not first asking people, what is your need, and then we will produce the product. We just produce it, and then we use marketing to seed the need and the wish for this product into people.
Yeah, I understand this.
It's just this process, and I have no problem with this process also. I just want that, because I see it and I believe it, that we are at the crossroads. Part of the humanity will choose one side, and part will choose the other side, and we will separate. But can we coexist peacefully on the same planet? Or there will be a clash between these two cultures, like it was before, when new settlers came to the new world, and
there were clashes between cultures in the past.
Yeah, all the time.
And equal cultures, and the most efficient wins always. So
well, I don't know if it's more efficient, but more technologically advanced, let's say, or the one that is more ruthless.
Yeah, I think like you push a button and maybe something blows up. And in the other, if you don't have the button and all this technology or this platform, you need to go there and do a lot of effort to blow something up. So this could create a difficulty in this sense. I don't know. I was thinking like the idea of the soft push. Yeah. I think marketing is an evolution of seduction. It's like it's a natural
and manipulation. Yeah, seduction and manipulation.
I see it in a more innocent way. I see it in the way like when you try to get a partner, no? Yeah. Or when people used to dance, or to do heroic things, or to dress well, or to talk well. Yeah. With the sole purpose of finding a partner, a mate, or something, or being admired by the other gender, or now the same gender. It doesn't matter. But the point is like, this very natural drive for seducing, it has the same principles than marketing. Yeah, as far as I see it. Yeah, yeah. What I was thinking with the people enjoying so much their devices is more like there is a part of the individual that is fascinated with the idea of having his own little private world that is at the same time shareable. And so intimate, so under control in my hands, I understand that there are companies like trying to hook this person into watching all the time the phone, but the idea that a human is so connected with it, before it was the tool, I don't know, the warriors were really connected with the swords and their weapons, and I don't know, maybe some kind of farmer with some tools, or with animals, or with shamanic instruments, but people have this obsession for things that they could have within their hands. And what I see now fascinating is that a part of the society is really satisfying a very old need. Yeah. Maybe it will destroy it, I don't know, but there was a very strong need for that, and that's why it's so efficient. That was everybody wants one. Yeah. That was my perception of it.
Maybe you're saying like how I felt it, that because like when you want to be intimate or share something very personal to someone, it's much easier to go to the bar and say it to total stranger than let's say to your partner. So and the is like a tool to do that.
An enabler, It enables you to do something that I suspect humans really love to do for ages. And they now find a way to do it, like flying, Yeah. Imagine like people watching the moon and like thinking like, how could I get there, for generations and generations and generations. And then when you get it, when somebody build it, I mean everybody together combine this effort and build it, and you can really go there, And then so that means you can even go further, And at some point the body is a problem, because I want to go so far that my body doesn't allow me. And then why not go there virtually, why not focus into that? I don't know. I find innocence in all this pursuit. I also am completely aware, and I see it also, that it's very damaging. The consequences of this are really damaging, for many people, maybe for everybody. But at the same time, it is changing the whole idea of education, the whole idea of human. No? Like,
yeah.
what's the point of studying 15 years something if I can check anything I want to know there? You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Why would I study some
For
skill
sure.
if I download it in 15 minutes? I know what to do.
Yeah.
And this now it's like a new thing.
Mm.
We are all like, wow, this is great. But in 20 years or in
It will
30
be
years,
normal.
the whole society will have
Yeah.
to be modified. You know.
Yeah, for sure. It's being modified right now. Everybody's being modified, and a lot of people feel it. Some have adapted to this process and embrace it,
Mhm.
and some of them that I see and experience have huge trouble with it.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
they get lost. They feel that they are being left behind, and you know, just crumble in themselves. You know, just going down.
The thoughts that I hear related with AI was this idea of when they had this idea of singularity, when the speed of updating will be so fast that it just go without you, you know.
Yeah.
And then the other idea is like everybody will be forced to update every few years. Maybe even maybe after it will become after months. Like the phone is updating itself all the time, and we are getting used to the idea of updating, you know, which was a very.
Then some people
nobody thought about that before.
will become an obsolete model.
Some people.
Yeah. They won't update, you know, for various reasons, and they will become obsolete.
Well, yes, I saw it happens many times because I traveled I was living in nature when I was 18 or 20 something, and I went so far in this irrational research of all these, I don't know, inner options as a human that I have, which were not rational.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I used to walk in the night a lot, like the whole night walking in the forest and walking in four legs and walking backwards and walking with the eyes crossed and walking with one eye and looking with, and I don't know, all kind of experiments that I read. I tried to put them in practice, and because I was living alone in a village and it was a lot of people doing the same kind of things, it was kind of okay, you know. And then I developed the idea of being an artist because it was the safest social etiquette to explain why I'm walking in four legs 12 in the night in the forest, you know, if somebody would find me, you know, or any other kind of stuff, you know, which were inefficient in a way, because I was fascinated by the experience of doing something in the river that maybe the locals would do in a completely different way. And then I was doing it for fun, or just to see how this happened.
So nice, thanks. So to wrap it up, what's your final verdict or final thought about human and AI?
I think there are many ideas around. One idea that is interesting is, because maybe it hooks me the most because I'm from South America, is this idea that in a way AI or all this, let's say AI, there is nothing there that it's already AI, but it's something that it seems to be clustering, you know. So I think it's like a child, you know, and it's really important to be the best we can be in interaction with it, because it's absorbing every single gesture that we do, and we are already doing it for our own personal reasons, feeding data into that child that is maybe in the belly of the the society, and it will be born eventually, you know. And now he's absorbing everything, you know, every nice gesture, every nice word, every moral code that we do. So in a way, basically what I think that AI is bringing is the cessation of solitude in a way. Like, or this what some religious people talk like, you can lie to everybody, but you cannot lie to God, no? I'm not religious in this way, but I understand that the concept that you yourself know inside yourself if what you are saying is true or not. And our society is based actually more in the opposite. It's like you can say whatever because nobody knows what is going on inside of you. And if you are able enough, you can convince people of something that you know is not right. And then you have to live with this knowledge of you lying. And I think AI is bringing basically this experience, like
so like blockchain to finance.
Basically, the layer between the self and the other is disappearing in a way, and everything that is happening through you at the emotional level, at the mental level, at the imaginative level, it's more and more reachable by these companies, or is more and more detected by these devices, and it will be it's been processed, digested, and it's been used to elaborate things, strategies by an engine that is not human anymore, but that it has the principles of this humanity, So I think it's like a call to be as kind as possible with the world, especially because I imagine in this animistic way that AI will be the total sum of all of us, basically. So the little you can do to make it nicer, if you can, or if you wish to, then I find it interesting to treat all these devices with kindness.
Yeah, very nice.
I'm preparing for the consequences of that. I think it's we have to think, and we have to talk and learn and really philosophize about that, because nobody knows what will come. I don't think there are simple answers. We just need to constantly update the dialogue and keep adapting to what is coming. Not because of what AI will do, but in the beginning what people will do with AI.
Yeah.
And some of these stories, we know them, they usually do the same. But now it will be much, much stronger,
Okay. So, guys, we're wrapping up. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe for the next session. So, maybe the final thought, be kind to AI and hope that AI will be kind back.
Yes.
Thanks, Guillermo. Thanks, man.